For as long as there have been minds to think and consider, meditate and ponder upon, the questions have been, what are we? Where do we come from? And what is reality? What actually is the world and what we experience? Well, the world is an illusion, and here are 3 reasons why that's so. From a materialistic standpoint, science would like us to believe that consciousness rises up out of the brain, out of the construct of material things. But that doesn't seem to be our experience. If we delve into it and look a little bit closer, does consciousness really rise out of things? Things are objects, and that which is viewing those things is the subject. Maybe everything is subjective. Maybe everything is made of subjectivity. Maybe everything is made of consciousness. So here's the first reason why the world is an illusion. We only perceive what we experience, and we only experience what we perceive. And our perceptions are literally filters. One of the perceptions that we have is sight. But we must remember that we only actually perceive through sight 0.0035% of the visual spectrum. You think of this measurement as the visual spectrum, we only see a fraction, a tiny piece of that spectrum. So we actually don't see all of reality. You see, this world is more like magic. When you're watching a magic trick or an illusion, you're perceiving what is in front of you. You can only perceive what is presented to you. You do not perceive what is hidden from you. You see, everything is vibration, and vibration is translated by organs. So let's look at sound. Sound does not make a sound. Sound is vibration. It only becomes sound when there is an ear to hear it and a brain to translate the vibration coming through the ear, which through the ear canal is shaped in a particular way for that vibration to then be translated by the brain into what we call sound. Sound happens in the brain, not outside of us. Vibration happens, but sound happens within the brain. Now here's the really tricky thing. The brain is also a vibration. So that which is perceiving the vibration and turning it into sound is itself made of vibration. Everything is vibrating. So that which is being perceived is also that which is being projected. Materialism would like to have us believe that consciousness rises up out of the brain, but that's not the case. Consciousness is the fundamental state of everything. You see, if there's an object but nothing to be aware of it, can the object actually exist? No, there's no one there or nothing there to be aware of it. So how can an object even have existence if there is no awareness of it? Vibration is vibrating itself. Vibration is translating itself. And vibration is simply made of consciousness. So this life appears to be magic because we're only perceiving a small fraction of what is actually perceivable. Magic is the hiding of information, and this world hides more information than it gives us. Number 2 reason why this world is an illusion. That which exists is not reality, and reality does not exist. You see, the word exist means to stand out. So we need to ask ourselves, what is it that existence stands out from? Well, existence stands out from reality. Reality is the case. Reality is what's real. But what is real? Well, reality can only be realized. It cannot be experienced as such, as in the form of an object. Reality is pure subjectivity. It is the knowing, it is the experiencing, but it is not the experience itself. It is not knowledge. Reality is realized. Here's an example. To make vocal, you vocalize. And to make real, you realize. Nothing is actually done in as much as you drop into the pure state of experiencing. To really experience the truth of the world and come closer to reality for what it is, we want to put ing on the end of everything we do. So reality is not what we see, reality is seeing. Reality is not what we hear, reality is hearing. Reality is not what we feel, reality is feeling. We move away from the object and we go into the subjectivity in its fullness. Feeling is subjectivity, seeing is subjectivity. That is the truth of our being. That is consciousness expressed in its fullness. Only reality can be realized, and only existence can be experienced. You see, existence is the experience, but reality is realization itself. It is realizing, it is in the moment. That which we experience as existence is that which stands out from reality. An amazing teacher called Rupert Spira uses an analogy of the screen. Imagine an infinite screen, and this screen is a representation of consciousness. And this screen has no edges, it's infinite. This screen also is conscious of itself. It is a conscious screen. Now, just like a TV screen, you turn on the TV and images come up on the screen. Now, the images that are happening within the screen are not actually real. The images that are being shown on the screen are being realized, but they are not real themselves. If you go up and touch the screen, you'll find that it is actually a screen. The reality is the screen itself. The reality is that which holds the images within itself. But the screen itself is not the images. The images in the screen appear to be, but again, they only appear to be. They are not. The screen is the reality, and the images are the illusion. Nonetheless, it is a real illusion because there is an experience going on. But the experience that is happening is that which appears to be standing out. And here's the thing. That which is standing out is still an illusion. Nothing is actually standing out of the screen itself. It just appears to be happening within the screen. Another amazing philosopher who has a wonderful analogy to follow, or metaphor, is Bernardo Castro. He talks about how we are experiencing reality as if we were, say, the pilot within an aeroplane. And the experience that we're having, the interface that's going on, is the dashboard of the aeroplane. On the dashboard of this aeroplane are many dials and signals and all sorts of feedback telling us what's going on outside of the plane itself. Now, those dials, using those dials and feedback, the pilot can lift off and land a plane, can do everything to fly the plane. All the information that's been given to the pilot is presented through these instrumentations on the dashboard. However, those instruments on the dashboard and the readings that they are giving to the pilot are not the reality themselves. They are filtering the reality through sensors into the dashboard, and yet through the dashboard, the pilot is having the experience of what is perceived to be reality. However, it is just that which is standing out from reality. It is just that which is being translated through the dashboard to the pilot. The pilot is not experiencing reality at all. The pilot is experiencing that which is standing out from reality. And so the pilot can navigate through reality simply through the instrumentation that's on the dashboard. Our bodies are much like that. It is a filtering system. It is an interface. It is interfacing and interfacing with reality, giving us the experience of that which is existing. That which stands out to us is what we interface with. Number 3 reason why the world is an illusion is you cannot prove anything to anyone. No one can prove anything. I can look at something and say that is the color blue. And yet how can I know that the experience of blue for someone else is exactly the same as mine? There's absolutely no way that anyone can prove to the other that they are having the same experience of the color blue. The way that I experience blue could be red for someone else, and yet red would still just be blue for them. Even though we are experiencing the same thing, no one has the same experience. We are each having our own experience. We can experience the same things, and yet we do not have the same experience. You see, this life is a mystery. If we know anything, it is very mysterious. There's nothing that we can be sure to be true, because our experience of reality is very, very partial. Some people are blind and never see color, and yet they can live life and have an incredible experience, and it's going to be very unique to them because they are not having the senses of the eyes. Nonetheless, their consciousness is no different than anyone else's consciousness. They are conscious, and that's all that consciousness is. It's not the experiencing of what we are conscious of that is consciousness. Consciousness has its own quality. We are all conscious. There is just one consciousness. There is only one experiencing that is going on in all of reality. However, there are millions and billions and trillions of experiences, but the experiences are not the experiencing. So at the end of the day, we all share in consciousness, but we cannot prove to each other the experiences we are having on an individual level. My experiences will always be my own experiences. Even though we can experience the same thing, for me it will have its own quality, and for someone else it will have their own quality. Experiencing is what we all share, but the experiences we cannot prove to each other. We cannot share. And here's the interesting thing. We have science, politics, and religion that are always trying to prove to us this is the reality, this is the truth, this is life, this is God. But there's no way that we can prove it to each other. There's no way we can say this is the truth and the only truth. You see, science pulls things apart to try to find the truth in it, but science still has not arrived at the truth. Religion wants us to believe in what it proselytizes. It is always insisting, this is God. No, this is God. There are religions all around the world, but again, how can anyone prove from the place of subjectivity? Life is pure subjectivity. The only thing that we know is that we are knowing. The only thing that we can experience is that we are experiencing. And for each, it is an individual experience. And yet, experiencing is the thing we share in common. And then we have politics, which simply wants us to conform to a particular way of living. It wants to insist to us the way that the world is. As Terence McKenna said, culture is not your friend. Culture is an insistence upon how you should act, how you should be, due to the social norms. But really, what is normal? For someone to say this is normal, you've got to ask, compared to what? At the end of the day, you are conscious, you are aware, and that's all you can know. So please, don't believe me when I say that the world is an illusion. Go into these things for yourself. Allow yourself to become very conscious in the moment. And feel the fact that you are simply having an experience. And yet you are not the experience itself. Words will never suffice. Words will never be able to give the truth to someone else. The only truths that we can know is that we are having an experience. The only truths that we can know is that we are conscious. And the only truths that we know are that even though there appear to be objects, without awareness, objects do not exist. I want to leave you with this, which is a saying that was given to me by my own coach at the time, and it has served me so well. You see, you have everything to share and nothing to prove. Trying to prove yourself is an ego trip, and that's not what's needed on the soul journey. Sharing is the very expression of the soul. So allow yourself to share, drop the ego, and let go of feeling like you need to prove yourself. This life is a mystery. This life is a mystery to be experienced. It is not a problem to be solved. So enjoy the mystery, enjoy the experience, and let there be light.